Well, this clearly isn't the deserts of Arizona, but this is the Tucson, Hyundai's renamed and revitalised mid-sized SUV. And we've come to the snowy mountains, the playgrounds for the active lifestyle, to see how this modern SUV performs. The Tucson effectively replaces the iX35, which has been one of the most popular models in Hyundai's lineup, as well as the compact SUV class in general. Like its predecessor, it lines up in an increasingly crowded segment, going head-to-head with other top sellers such as the Mazda CX-5, Honda CR-V, Toyota RAV4 and Nissan X-Trail. There's a wide choice of models too, spanning front and all-wheel drive variants powered by either petrol or diesel 4-cylinder engines, with the entry-level Active, which doesn't arrive in Australia until later this year, kickstarting the range at $27,990 plus on-road costs, putting it on par with its rivals. This one steps it up a notch. It's actually bigger than the iX35 in most dimensions. It's longer, wider, and most importantly, it's got more interior space. It's also available in a wider choice of models. And this one here is the top of the range Highlander powered by the diesel engine. And I'd have to say, first impressions are, this thing is a big step up over the iX35. It looks really classy from the outside. It's the same sort of style as the Santa Fe that sits above it, but it's the first car that's been designed wholly by Hyundai's new styling director, Peter Schreier, and you can really see some of the detail work in the exterior. The Tucson is also one of the first vehicles available in Australia with Apple's CarPlay or Android Auto connectivity. Strangely, it is only available in the lower grade Active and Active X variants, as the higher spec models, Elite and Highlander, come standard with integrated sat-nav. While it won't officially be available until September, although cars purchased between now and then can have it retrofitted, we were able to sample its functionality during the launch this week in Thredbo. It's simple and intuitive to use. Just plug your phone in via the USB cable and the 7-inch touchscreen simply mimics certain elements of your phone, accessing streaming audio apps like Spotify, also Google Maps for nav, and can even read back text messages through the audio system. And it'll be one of the first in Australia with that smartphone technology. From the driver's seat, this car is really quite comfortable to drive. Like all models, Hyundai Australia has spent a significant amount of time refining the ride and comfort levels of the suspension, and they have done an outstanding job on this car. I think it's the best they've done so far. It really rides the bumps quite well and is comfortable in all environments. The steering on this car is really well weighted and quite responsive and doesn't use that electronic trickery of the E-Flex steering that they used to have before. The handling is also really sure-footed and quite predictable, particularly with the all-wheel drive system in these slippery conditions. The overall ambience of this car on the road is actually quite astounding, and I think it sets a bit of a benchmark for comfort in this segment. There's a quartet of 4-cylinder motors spread across the model range. The base model Active is only available with an aging 2-litre naturally aspirated engine and only comes in front-wheel drive configuration. Step up to the Active X and it is powered by a more modern direct injection unit that produces 121 kilowatts and 230 newton meters. The mid-spec Elite can be equipped with the same motor, but there is also a choice of 130 kilowatt, 265 newton meter, 1.6 litre turbo petrol with a 7-speed dual clutch auto, or a 2-litre turbo diesel that produces 136 kilowatts and 400 newton meters, both of which are exclusively fitted with all-wheel drive. Those latter two engine options are also the only choices available in the range-topping Highlander. As for the engine choices, well, the diesel engine here obviously has the most pulling power, but it's a little bit gruff and still has those diesel characteristics of a bit of a lumpy idle and also a bit noisy underfoot. I think the sweetie is actually the 1.6 litre turbo that's also in the Veloster and the i40. It's exclusively mated to a 7-speed dual clutch automatic, which is smooth in its shifts and really well calibrated for this kind of car. As for the overall quality of this car, I think it takes Hyundai's mainstream passenger car lineup to a new level. The materials used are nice and soft to touch, the overall layout is simple and easy to use, there's great vision, comfortable seats and plenty of space for the family in the back. It's also really well suited to the modern family lifestyle. There's plenty of safety technology, including a reversing camera standard in all models, all-wheel drive and autonomous emergency braking. Well, the Tucson might be an old name, but this car shares nothing with its predecessor, or even the iX35 that went before it. In fact, it showcases the new generation of Hyundai perfectly. It's stylish to look at, it's spacious inside, it drives really well, and it's well equipped. it also builds on the brand's value for money. In fact, I think it ticks a few benchmarks in this popular modern family SUV class.